Once upon a time in September 2018, Bungie released Forsaken, a massive expansion that redeemed the problematic Destiny 2. It included many welcome additions and a new mod that makes PvP and PvE gaming so to teams competing on a map to slay enemies going from one area to the next. To do so, the team that does so faster gets to the final round sooner, giving them an advantage. Players could invade the opposing team, sending someone to there instance to mess with them. Almost 5 years later, Capcom released Exoprimal, a cooperation PvP, a game where two teams of 5 players each complete objectives. You are told where they go, but given much less freedom in exploring, and can also invade the other teams. Instance to wreak havoc and set them back. There are several other differences, but for the most part it's astonishing how much Exoprimal is almost a paid version of Destiny 2. Gambit, it's also worth mentioning that in this day and age game, Gambit is perhaps one of the least popular mods. In the looter shooter, it receives pretty much no updates, but even after some attentions and support, it received criticism for being unbalanced, stressful, and downright painful, especially with randoms. The fact that a lot of that applies to Exoprimal is no coincidence. That it does not have tons of other content to fall back on, unlike Destiny 2, is also highly disappointing. Let's start from the beginning. The year is 2043, and we called in the traveled story, dinosaurs randomly attacked the globe where they coming from. Why dinosaurs? Regardless, the totally not suspect IBS corporations is one hand to help displaying powerful exosuits to stay them. It can predict where they dinosaurs appear with an advanced AI. Leviathan, however, for some reason, Leviathan has gone rogue and now conducing experiments, and Mikotai Island is going a new exofighter recruit, assigning to the Hammerheads a motley crew of Lorenzo Victoria and others, with Sandy providing robotic assistance. While patrolling the island, you are forced to drop on two in the player's encounter, alive to fans, watch who sends them back 3 years in the past as part of its war games. Why is it specific day? What do the hardest of dinosaurs have to do with Levantis experiments? There is an air of mystery around it all, which is telegraphed pretty early on, but still intriguing. The problem is not a premise, it's the disjointed storytelling. As you play Dino Survival, your options data to plot on the access map. The data leads to the new plot points and revelations among your team as you work towards escaping the island. There is some interesting Lord lighting. You could learn about the island's past, of how an orbital elevator was destroyed, and then suddenly witnessed the last moments of an exofighter as they slowly descended into madness. Hilariously, you don't even need to check the access map for updates. At one point I watched cutscenes and prompt the advanced the plot when going into the map and using the data to unlock a new plot point. It played the same cutscenes again. It's like the data I collected did not even matter. The tone alternates between goofy and serious, with the writings filing from a 9 banner. There is a time for weeping about the new proper way to say there is no place like home, and it is not after hearing someone's violent craze. Days even worse is when the game attempts to acknowledge some of this more annoying tropes, like the silent protagonist at aliveness constant alerts going, so does not automatically make them less glitched or annoying. It's a shame because the voice acting is pretty good. Each character comes across as charismatic and comfortable in there. Rules the data points provide some opportunities to learn more about their leagues, but outside of Leviathan, your squad does not play that much of a pivotal role in the actual gameplay. Of course, the game is about exosuits, slaying hordes of dinosaurs, so not many would even care for the story. Exoprimal does not take too long to delve you into the thick of it. Your team of gives you from one point to another following Leviathan's watcher completing objectives that range from defending an area to slaying dinosaurs. Progress enough and you reach the final missions where you can control a dominator to invade the enemy team. You have limited executes, but more become available as you level up the 10. Suits are divided into 3 roles. Assault 10 can support. They offer some distinct variety. That I is your run and gun shooter with an explosive shoot. But soon you unlock the likes of Vigilant with her sniper rifle and freezing capabilities of Mershung, who can block attacks and counter into disappointing blow, which enhances outgoing damage for a time. Each has a specialty, whether it's Burge and his focus on the malicious of Skywave, mixing crowd control in fight with our Helen They. Thanks for watching, subscribe to my channel and press like button on this video.